So without further ado, let me introduce you to Laura Howell. She is a native of the Pacific Northwest. Laura Howell teaches high school biology from her home afloat. She and her 10-year-old spend the school year tied to shore to be near friends and family in the snow-filled mountains. They then take their liveaboard beamy 36-foot Hunter Vision and 3 cats and head north. Her vision? To get farther north each summer. Her reality? The boat presents a new surprise challenge each summer, and the mother-daughter pair get to hit reset together as they learn to relax and live in the moment. Laura, that was a beautiful bio, Laura. I think you're a biology teacher, but maybe also a writer.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Yes, please go ahead when you're ready.
All right. This is titled My Father's Light. Do you see it? Not yet, I replied. Dad was using a mirror to signal us from the top deck of my childhood home. We were 2 miles away on a north heading in the Puget Sound. How about now? He hollered with a childlike excitement through his vintage portable VHF radio that had cost him a fortune 25 years ago. I wanted to say, yes, I see you, Dad. But my eyes scanned the eastern shore, searched for about 400 feet above the shoreline to a bow where his home stood, surrounded by maybe 1,000 other homes. No, I couldn't see his signal. My eyes darted port to starboard. I squinted, looking ahead to see if any cargo ships had come around the bend, some 4 miles to the north. I looked aft with my left hand on the wheel, making sure no other massive commercial vessels would sneak up from behind. I looked to the mass of homes again, wishing to find my father's light. He left home, joined the Coast Guard, and moved out west. After adventures aboard the lightship on the Columbia River, a radio man on the Coast Guard cutter Yacona, and manning the lighthouse at Westport, it made sense that my father would join the fishing frenzy of the late 60s, not out of love for the sea so much as a need for work and a need for adventure. His love and respect of the sea that he bestowed upon me developed over time. I grew up on wild stories of the Bering Sea. I recall feeling closest to my dad as his words came to life in my mind. The waves so high and the air so cold, the crew would be tethered to the bow with baseball bats in hand, whacking at the waves that had frozen to the boat, persistently chipping away for fear the weight might make them drown. My inquisitive nature was best tolerated by him when I asked for another, questioned the circumstances, and begged for more detail. I looked at him in awe, admiration and respect rooted in me then for my father, and is now felt in every fiber of my being. Our relationship was strained most of my adolescence and early adulthood. We were so alike, both so stubborn, both so right. I shouldn't have been surprised that he wasn't in favor of my choice to find a boat to call home after I found myself raising my toddler alone. To me, it was so clearly my path to follow, a new beginning. It was time to attain my dreams, in the present. To him, I now clearly can see, it was potentially reckless, risky, an unnecessary choice that could jeopardize the safety of his beloved girls. While I tackled the uncharted waters of learning everything boat-related, my father again was forced to let go of me, allow me to follow my own course, despite his fears and memories of how ruthless the sea could be. I struggled with my connection to Dad as I searched for my boat and started to build my internal library of advice on all things boat-related. Yet his words of caution and safety always rung the loudest in my mind. Once living aboard and developing skills in docking, anchoring, navigating, and sailing, I found I was missing a critical piece. How could my father have captained 100-ton vessels in the most dangerous area of the world, yet our 2 short fuses rarely aligned amidst the topic of maritime? Boat discussions were short. Visits aboard never resulted in untying from the dock. My sailing, pleasure boating world seemed to be too far away on the pendulum from his career-driven commercial fishing life. I didn't know what I was searching for exactly in relation to my father. The uncharted waters of our two souls connecting seemed impossible to navigate. But through finding myself, while afloat and free on the sailish sea, summer after summer, and then tied to shore, winter upon winter, I let go of myself and my vision of us. I started to see my father's light. It peeked through the fog, so dim yet persistent. I recall the first time I saw it. Heading north through Admiralty Inlet, I texted my father my location and said hello. He found me on his app and advised me of ships approaching. He checked in on me frequently during that leg of our summer voyage. He engaged. 7 summers in now, my dad and I have logged countless location updates, countless meaningful texting conversations while underway. I now captain the Columbia, named her in honor of him and his maritime journey. My father's love had been there all along. Yes, I see you, Dad. I see so clearly and feel so strongly your light.
Oh, so beautiful.
What a story. Very nice.
And he's here today, so thank you, Dad.
Lucky girl, Laura Howell. Very nice.
Oh, Marlene, thank you.
Oh, Laura, that was the two things that that really stood out to me are I grew up in Alaska, so I know how hard and tough sailors are who know the Bering Sea. Yeah, your dad is definitely a badass. Wow. What a guy to learn from. And then also what an experience you're giving your daughter. What an incredible life.
She's right here. She's trying to help me keep from crying. Thank you.
Hi.
Definitely the first mate of this vessel.
That's wonderful. Laura, thank you so much. I knew you were a writer.
Will you shine a light in your window tonight? Will you burn it brightly for me? For these are dark, uncharted waters with no mercy on a sailor lost at sea.